Okay, first we are going through a definition. Okay, this is the definition of a silo P subgroup of G. We are considering a group of order P raised to K into M, where P is a prime and P is not dividing M. That means P is a prime and P does not divide M. Then a subgroup of G of order P raised to K. Okay, since order of G is equal to P raised to K into M, a subgroup, it can have a subgroup of order P raised to K. Okay, that subgroup of order P raised to K is called the silo P subgroup of G. Okay, so silo P subgroup of a group means if a group is having order P raised to K into M, where P is a prime not dividing M, then the subgroup of order P raised to K is called the silo P subgroup of G. Okay, next we go through the corollary G14 and it is known as Cauchy's theorem. If P is a prime dividing order of G, then G contains an element of order P. So Cauchy's theorem states that if P is a prime that divides order of G, then G contains an element of order P. Okay. Let's look at the proof of Cauchy's theorem. It is given that the prime number P divides order of G. So since P divides order of G must contain a factor P. So order of G can be some P raised to K into M. We are taking the maximum possibility. If more than one factor of P up, order of G can have more than factor of P. So suppose that K factors of P occur. So order of G can be taken as P raised to K into M, where this M does not contain the factor P. Okay. So since P divides order of G can be P raised to K into M. It is a maximum possibility that order of G can have. So order of G is equal to P raised to K into M, where P is a prime not dividing M. Okay. Then since order of G is equal to P raised to K into M, it can have a silo P subgroup. Okay, let H be a silo P subgroup of G. Next we are choosing an element X element of H hash. H hash is H minus Z1. So H minus Z identity. Okay. An element from H other than the identity. So X is an element from H other than the identity element. Order of H is P raised to K for some K. Since H is a silo P subgroup of G, we have order of H is P raised to K. Okay, for some number K, for this K. Okay, since X is an element of H with X not equal to 1, X is an element of H which is not the identity element by Lagrange's theorem. Okay, you have studied Lagrange's theorem. Lagrange's theorem states that order of a subgroup divides order of the group, and here we are taking by Lagrange, even though it is stated by Lagrange's theorem, we are taking the corollary of Lagrange's theorem. The corollary of Lagrange's theorem, it states that order of an element of the group divides order of the group. Okay, so here we are taking an element from the group H. So X is an element from the group H. So order of X divides order of that element divides order of the group. So by the corollary of Lagrange's theorem, we have order of X divides order of H. So order of H is P raised to K. Okay, therefore order of X must be some P to the power T for some T. Since order of X is P raised to T, we can have X raised to P raised to T is equal to I. Order of an element means it is the least positive. If order of X is n, then n is the least positive integer satisfying X raised to n is equal to E. So here order of X is P raised to T, then P raised to T is the least positive integer satisfying X raised to P raised to T is equal to E. Okay, here we have to prove an element of order P. Okay, so we got X raised to P raised to T is equal to E, and order of X is P raised to T. Okay, so if T is equal to 1, suppose T is equal to 1, then the proof is over. Why? We already got order of X is P raised to T and X raised to P raised to T is equal to, if T is equal to 1, then we have X raised to P is equal to E. That means X is an element having order P. Okay, that's why if T is equal to 1, then the proof is over, because if T is equal to 1, then X raised to P is equal to E, So x is that element having order p. So that case is over. And suppose that t greater than 1. Okay, t is always a positive integer. Okay, so this case is t greater than 1. Okay, then we consider the element x raised to p raised to t minus 1. Okay, and we are taking that element to the power p. Okay, then it is of the form a raised to m the whole raised to n, that is a raised to mn, so it can be written as x raised to p into p raised to t minus 1. Okay, in p on the power it is p into p raised to t minus 1, that is of the form a raised to m into a raised to n, that is a raised to m plus n. So on the power it becomes p raised to 1 plus t minus 1. So 1 and minus 1 will cancel and the power it becomes t. So x raised to p raised to t, and we already have order of x is p raised to t, so that x raised to p raised to t is equal to e. So here x raised to p raised to t is equal to e. Thus we got an element x raised to p is an element having order p. Thus x raised to p raised to t minus 1 element of h. Why it is an element of h? Since x is an element of h, if we are taking to the power p raised to t minus 1, that is also an element of h, because if we take an element from a group and we operate it as many times, again it is an element of that group itself, since that operation is a binary operation. Okay, so since x is an element of h, x raised to p raised to t minus 1 is an element of h, and now we have got x raised to p raised to t minus 1 the whole raised to p is equal to e. That means order of x raised to p raised to t minus 1 is equal to p. Hence, if t greater than 1, we got an element x raised to p raised to t minus 1 having order p. Thus, if t greater than 1, x raised to p raised to t minus 1 is an element in G. Since it is an element of H, it is an element in G also. It is an element in G having order p. Okay, hence the proof is over. So in both cases, if t is equal to 1, we have proved that x is an element having order p. If t greater than 1, we have proved that x raised to p t minus 1 is an element in G having order p. Okay, hence the proof is